8:19, time to check in with Tony Messenger, St. Louis Post-Dispatch columnist. We talk to him every Tuesday and Thursday. Good morning, Tony.
McGraw, how the heck are you?
We are doing well. We got lots of things on the docket. I want to talk about, I know you're paying attention to the bitter fight going on down in Jefferson City with Eric Greitens and the state rep, Rob Schaaf. But I want to touch on Lambert here real quick first, because the FAA gave approval to St. Louis to sort of investigate this public-private partnership, and it's a little bit in the weeds, but it's kind of an interesting story. Are you following this, and what are your thoughts if you are?
I'm following it, and, you know, I got a little bit worried last night when somebody sent me a link to a website that Rex Singfeld's group, Grow Missouri, has already put up called Fly314.com, and it's basically a fully cooked website with quotes from Mayor Cruson and County Executive Steve Stinger and business leaders and public relations professionals that all looks like, hey, this privatization of the airport thing is done. It's cooked. We're going to do it. Here's why. And it just struck me as we need to be really, really careful on this thing. My first question, which is not one of the first questions listed on the website, that's full of all sorts of questions to lead you to why privatization of the airport is a good thing. And it may be. I'm not convinced it isn't a good thing. But my first question is, where's the accounting, the public accounting of all the money that's going into what Grow Missouri is doing? Grow Missouri is a 501c4 that doesn't, until it files its IRS forms once a year, really disclose much of where it gets its money and everything else. It is separate from the Grow Missouri Political Action Committee that files reports in the Missouri Ethics Commission and tries to get people elected and all of that. And so there is a real important question here about who's getting paid and who's directing the conversation, that those questions have to be answered by any public official who gets behind this privatization movement. That worries me.
That's your issue.
That's my issue. It's about, this is a major city asset, and we have a private organization that apparently is running the show. And that is scary for taxpayers, and taxpayers should demand a full accounting of which private individuals are trying to use the airport for potential private gain. It's the same issue, ironically, that's going on in Jeff City between Governor Greitens and Senator Rob Schaaf. And Senator Rob Schaaf yesterday gave an impassioned plea on the Senate floor for Governor Greitens to stop using a dark money committee to hide what he's doing on behalf of the taxpayers in the state of Missouri. This is the major issue in ethics in government right now. It's about private people using the government for private gain and being able to hide their tracks in terms of how they're spending, who they're paying, and who benefits. This is the city's major asset. We're not selling it at a bankruptcy sale here. We're trying to use it to leverage the future of the city. A private organization should not be running the show. That's what has me worried right now, and what I'm going to try to focus on to figure out what's going on.
All right, let's talk about Jefferson City for a moment, because this Eric Greitens story has got some really interesting tentacles to it. So he started, or somebody started, a organization that has gone after State Representative Rob Schaaf for all sorts of reasons, even including releasing his personal cell phone number. Greitens came out and said that he has no day-to-day responsibilities with this group, but it turns out, according to St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporting, that this group that the governor has no day-to-day operations with is run by a senior advisor and his former campaign manager.
It's Governor Greitens' group. It's already been reported. This is what I find very interesting about the former Navy SEAL. You would think the former Navy SEAL, the man who wrote books about integrity, would be able to stand up and have the courage to say, you're damn right I put that senator's cell phone number on those ads because I'm going after him. But Governor Greitens is too much of a coward to stand up and say, that's my organization. I'm doing it this way so that you can't follow the money. And the law allows me to do it, so too darn bad. Instead, he runs the ad, puts the guy's cell phone number on it, first of all, incorrectly tells his voters that Rob Schaaf is opposed to ethics. Rob Schaaf has, and has had for 2 years now, the most comprehensive ethics bill in the state that would get rid of this dark money, that would not allow Governor Greitens to hide behind a secret committee. And Governor Greitens is hiding behind a secret dark money committee to try to criticize the guy who's actually trying to pass ethics legislation in the state. It's ridiculous. It is a symptom of everything that is wrong in Jeff City. Governor Greitens said he was going to blow up Jeff City. Indeed, he has. He's blown up the Missouri Senate, and they will not be passing any major Governor Greitens legislation because the man is standing in the way of good ethics reform.
What you talk about sounds like total, complete dysfunction. Is that what's going on in Jefferson City?
It's exactly what's going on right now. And this is what happens when you have whether it's Democrats or Republicans, it's happened in both parties, and it's happened that way in Missouri right now. When you have a system by which you've gone so far to one side, in which you no longer need any Democratic votes for anything, eventually you destroy the party that is in the total majority. And that's what's happening right now. It's not Democrats who are defeating Governor Greitens right now. It's other Republicans. It's other Republicans who are mad at their Senate leader, Ron Richard, who are mad at the governor, Eric Greitens, for trying to pass legislation on behalf of major donors, some of whom are giving secret money to a committee that nobody knows what it is doing. It is Republicans in the legislature who are mad about this and are shutting down the state Senate.
All right, so what's the backstory here? You have a governor who was rode into office on ethics reform, and you have a state senator who, as you say, has put in the toughest legislation to create some type of ethics reform. You would think they would be on the same side. Why are they fighting with each other?
You would, and this is the point that Senator Schaaf made yesterday, and the reason that they're fighting with each other, and this is a point I've been trying to get to since Governor Greitens began his campaign. When he started his campaign and said, I'm the ethics guy, I was on board because I've been writing about ethics now for a decade. It's been one of the most important things that I've been focused on in my time reporting on what's going on in Jefferson City and other parts of government. I wanted there to be a candidate who is an ethics guy, and Chris Koster wasn't necessarily that guy. And so I spent the campaign trying to find out how serious Governor Greitens was about ethics. And what Senator Rob Schaaf found out is the same thing I found out in the campaign. Governor Greitens isn't serious about ethics. He doesn't care about ethics except for as a way to get him to his next seat. And what Rob Schaaf told him yesterday, Senator Schaaf told him yesterday in his speech was directly this: if you want to go to the White House, you need to clean up things in Missouri first. And that's what Senator Schaaf's speech was about yesterday. It was about challenging Governor Greitens to be serious about ethics, not just to be using it as a means to an end.
Tony Messenger, never dull when you're on the show. Tuesdays and Thursdays here, and you read all the time at stltoday.com. Tony, thanks for checking in.
Good to talk to you.
828. Big